Okay, today we're going to be doing 5th grade Module 4, Lesson 4, where we're looking now at tape diagrams and how tape diagrams can help us understand fractions and division. So the actual equation looks the same as what we did yesterday, 4 divided by 5. But we're going to look at how we can model this with a diagram. And I know you're going to say, oh, I know 4 divided by 5 is 4/5, because we know how to set up from division to a fraction, because we've been doing this for a couple of days now. But sometimes we're given word problems and situational problems where we're going to need to take the information that we're given, draw it out, and see how we can use that to do division. So we're going to draw this out and practice those diagrams. So draw with me when we draw our diagram to represent our whole. Now in this case, because 4 is our first number in this division problem, 4 is the whole. I have a total of 4 things. 4 cookies, 4 cupcakes, 4 pizzas. I don't know why I'm all about food right now, but it's some sort of 4 quantity. Now I'm taking those 4 things and I'm splitting them into 5 groups. 5 because that's my divisor. So I'm going to take my 4 and I'm going to split it into fifths. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I now have 4 lines, 5 pieces, and I want to know what this one piece is worth. What is 4 divided by 5? Well, looking at this, I have 5 units, right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. And that I know together equal 4. So I can think of this then as that 1 unit equals 4 divided by 5. I can say that 5 units added together equals 4, so that means 1 unit is 4 divided by 5. That's how you go from this kind of tape diagram to a problem. Well, 4 divided by 5, we're going to do longhand. And that means it's going in 0 times. And we get 4 as our remainder, so we end up with 0 and 4/5. Or we could think about it as 4 over 5. All the different ways we can solve this problem, we end up with the same answer of 4/5. Let's practice again. 14 divided by 3. Let's draw our tape diagram. We're going to do tape diagram first. I know my total is my whole, which is 14. That's how many cookies I want to share today. And I'm sharing with 3 people, so I'm going to split my diagram into thirds. And I'm thinking about this as I have 3 units, 3 pieces that together equal 14. So that means 1 unit equals 14 divided by 3. Well, 14 divided by 3, I know I can write as a fraction as 14/3. Now, I can do this longhand and simplify. 3 goes into 14 4 times, and I get 12 with 2 as a remainder. So I get a fractional remainder of 2/3. So I get 4 and 2/3. So 14/3 is the same thing as 4 and 2/3. So 14 divided by 3 equals 14 over 3, which equals 4 and 2/3. So we were able to solve it in different ways. We can solve it using a tape diagram to show our work and our thinking. We can solve it using the longhand division way and showing our work and doing our thinking. Lots of different ways, and our point is that we're seeing how these are all connected, that we can go from division to fractions to models, however we feel like it, whenever we feel like it. Now, this is the same chart as we saw in our last lesson, so we know how to do this. They're giving us some information, and we're kind of thinking about where it falls. So if we look at B, they gave us the fraction of 3/4. Well, I know I can read 3/4 as 3 divided by 4, right? I'm going 3 divided by 4. So I can write that here as 3 divided by 4. I can write it on my division expression. Now I can solve that using the standard algorithm by saying 3 divided by 4. Remember, our whole number always goes inside of our box, and then we're doing 3 divided by 4. 4 goes into 3 0 times, We're going to have 3 as the remainder. So we get 3/4. So we get 0 wholes and 3/4, which means our answer is going to be between 0 and 1 on a number line. If I was going to plot this, our answer goes between 0 and 1 because it's just a fraction. There's no whole number piece. It's going to fall somewhere between 0 and 1. This is a new column for us today. Okay, so C is giving us 7 halves, or 7 divided by 2. So 7 divided by 2. If I solve that with the standard algorithm, 2 goes into 7 3 times, because 3 times 2 is 6, and we get 1 as a remainder. So we're going to have 3 1/2 as our remainder. Remember, it's our remainder piece here over our divisor, because we broke it up into halves. So we have 3 1/2. And so if I'm thinking about where 3 1/2 will fall on a number line, between which 2 whole numbers will it fall between? It'll fall between 3 and 4, because it's between 3 and 4 on my number line. Okay, now we're going to look at this in a word problem context. Baba, the black sheep, had 7 pounds of wool. If he separated the wool equally into 3 bags, how much wool would be in 2 bags? Okay, so let's look at what important information we have. He has a total of 7 pounds of wool. He's separating it equally into 3 bags. Already I'm thinking division because they use the word equal. Equal makes me think division. But I'm going to draw a model to make sure that I'm going to do division. And then the question is, how much wool would be in 2 bags? So I'm going to draw this out. So I have a total of 7 pounds of wool, and I'm sharing it in 3 bags. So I'm going to split this into thirds. And they want to know how much is in 2 bags. So I'm going to look at 2 pieces. Well, to figure out what's in 2 bags, I need to figure out what's in 1 bag. Once I know what's in 1 bag, I can figure out what's in 2 bags. And to think about what's in 1 bag, this kind of tape diagram is telling me to do division. I know the total, and I know how many groups I'm splitting that total into. So I know that 3 units together equals 7. So 1 unit is going to be 7 divided by 3. Well, 7 divided by 3, I can think of as 7/3, which you can simplify from there into a mixed number, or you can do it longhand. 3 goes into 7 2 times with 6 and with 1 as a remainder, so I get 2 1/3 as my answer. You could also think about this just like we've practiced simplifying a fraction of a fraction greater than 1. 7/3, I can take out 1 whole thirds, another whole 3/3, and I get 1/3 left over, and you'll end up with the same answer. So however you like to think about it. So that means each of these bags of wool no longer is a mystery to us. It's 2 1/3. So the question asking about how much is going to be in 2 bags, we're going to then combine 2 of them together. So we need to do 2 1/3 plus 2 1/3. Well, 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. 1/3 plus 1/3 will be 2/3. So we get 4 2/3 pounds of wool is going to be what's in 2 bags, 4 2/3 pounds of wool. So in this sort of situation, when you have a word problem, you have to draw your model so you know what kind of operation to do. And then once we draw our model, we know how to treat that model and how to turn it into a division expression. And that's our goal today, is to become confident in that going from a model into a division expression. Because once we know the division expression, we are experts on how to turn that division expression into a final answer, because we know how division relates to fractions and then how fractions can be turned into a mixed number. It's all about just getting to that expression. And that's what we're using tape diagrams today for.